Oh, we're at video 27, and if you're wondering why I'm producing so many videos right now so quickly, it's because I am doing well in recovery again, and I got kind of a good ball rolling, and I'm kind of tackling my stuff head on, and successfully getting through some stuff. So I figured why stop momentum. The videos only really slowed down in the first place because, well, I was using and hot high for days and hot mess, so you know that whole story. So today's kind of a little more basic, simple kind of video. So man, I realize how tired I look right now. I've not been sleeping well, but so I guess I gotta start with saying that I want this video to kind of focus on, don't know how to say it, not so much an apology, but an admitting of wrongdoing. You know the whole expression, the truth shall set you free. Well, I'm kind of hoping for that exact thing, actually. It's not that I've been very secretive about my past or the things I've done or said, because what's the point in that? But I have been trying to be very raw and open. But there's always been a level of honesty that I've never been able to hit with anybody, not even my husband, up until recently. Feeling that I have officially broken down all my barriers and fully surrendering. I just want to get some stuff off my chest, stuff I don't want to carry around anymore. I know a lot of people wonder why people do the things they do and why they are the way they are, and it's human nature. We wonder, we want to know why the couple beside us is fighting, why the neighbors are screaming and throwing things, and those kind of, we get nosy that way, right? But like I know there's a lot of rumors and things that have been said about me over probably the last few years, and granted, a good chunk of them are probably true, but not everything is true. And when you only get one side of the story, you don't know what's really happening. I don't really care what people think, to be honest with you. I know the truth, and that's enough for me. But this is not about that. It's about just stop feeling shame about the things I've been carrying around. Admitting that I'm I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes and bad choices, and I have not always been the most stand-up person, but I have the desire to change. I have the strength to get there, and right now I'm building the knowledge to be that person. So let me start with saying that drugs really took me to the worst places a human being could ever go. Those things that you tell yourself that I'll never be that person, thank God. It will never happen to me. I would never do something that horrible. Well, when you're forced in a survival situation where you have no choice, you'd be surprised what you do. All that shit goes away, and all you care about is surviving to the next minute, to the next day, to the next week. And you do things that you never thought in a million years you'd do. I remember walking down Dundas Street, and this was before the pandemic, but walking down and like seeing people sketched out on drugs, they're rocking themselves, talking to themselves. I'm like, that's the line. Never gonna be me. At least I know that. End up in a relationship with an abusive drunk that wanted to destroy my life because I wouldn't put up with abuse, and like literally lost my whole life, spent 20 years building in like a couple months. So there was there's no security there, but how we're taught that, having a job, good paying, money, whatever, it will give you security. That's all bullshit. You can lose it all in a few minutes. But like, and then COVID really taught us that. And I found myself accidentally homeless in a new city where I didn't know anybody during a pandemic. And shit got real. I had to stay at a drug dealer's house after being newly clean, and let's just say that didn't last very long. The staying clean part, obviously, but I've had to use my looks and sexuality to manipulate situations to get what I want, and I've done that for ever since I've been in survival mode. I've probably done it in the past. Once I realized that I could do it in the gay community, I definitely used it to my advantage, because I've always pretty much been poor or paycheck to paycheck, and it was a way to have a less shitty life if I just had to tease or put out whatever. Not proud of it, but I did what someone told me, like, if you only have one card, then, play that card to death, and I felt like that was my only card. At the time, it probably pretty much was. Didn't have an education at the time, and I didn't want to go back to school. I didn't want to finish high school, so I didn't really have much. I do regret the people I hurt, and the people I hurt during that time period. It was all about me. I was like, I was an ugly kid. I got teased a lot. I had to change schools a lot. Kids made my life a living hell. So when I grew my looks, I was new pretty. So I didn't have that attention before. So of course it was overwhelming. And me being an addict, that was addict behavior back then. More. I want more. I'm more. I can't get enough. I can't get enough attention. I need more attention. It was the wrong attention. Don't mind you. A little come out. It was me chasing down the affection I never got as a child from my parents, and that's why I sorted out that tension. Turns out that when you're young and you don't get that attention at the right developmental stage, you seek it out when you get older. But because you were never taught good attention from bad attention, you just wanted attention. It didn't really matter what attention I got. I was still getting attention. Knowing that and understanding that now is it all makes sense. All those years really, really make sense. But that led into a key part of sexual addiction getting completely out of hand. It led to a key part of having to prostitute, being comfortable enough to prostitute, because I had such low self-esteem that I had no respect for myself after a certain point. You know what I mean? People treat me like an object. I presented myself like an object after that. I just no self-respect and no dignity. And I'm glad to say I'm moving past that now. I'm definitely not that person anymore. Nor do I want to be that person anymore. But I did that. I really twisted situations to get the things I want. I thought I was one of those people that I'm a superior drug addict, kind of, what do you call it? When people just go through those moments of just oh, I'm a superior drug addict than you, and I don't have to do those things. So thinking I'm being better when I'm not being any better. I'm not better. I'm not better than anybody. I would not lie, but I would find a fancy way to get around lying by not bending the truth, twisting the truth, stretching it so immensely. I was a magician that way. It's I would say, oh yeah, well, I got into a car accident, or this horrible thing happened, which was true, but year before, 10 months ago, doesn't affect me right now. I didn't say when I got into it, but I'm just founding fancy ways to lie, basically. And or I needed money for this or that, which is true, but I didn't say when I was going to spend it on that. Stuff like that. I thought I was just so freaking clever with the things I would say and come up with sometimes, and to get either drugs or what I want, blah blah blah. As the years went older, on, I had to actually start putting out and stuff for those things. And by the end of my addiction, well, before I got sober, it was bad. It was really bad. pretty much as bad as it gets. And I found myself, you know, called up in the fetal position in the tub, just holding my knees, rocking back and forth, bawling my eyes out under the shower, just because I hated myself. I hated my life. I can't believe the things I'd done, things I had to do, the things I didn't want to do, and it was soul crushing. It really was. I never thought, how the hell did I get here? How the hell did I get here? At one point, like not too long before this, I was graduating college. I had all these prospects. I was a top student in my class. I was going to have this amazing life, I thought. And here I am, addicted to heavy drugs, fresh with PTSD, having to prostitute myself, homeless during a pandemic. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And it all happened so bloody fast. I can't even believe it still to this day. It all, in the course of 3 months, that all inspired. And I really showed you it can really happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. A couple bad things happen in life, a couple bad choices, a bad relationship. It can get you there in no time flat. So never say you can't be one of those people, because the reality is you can. And if you don't watch it, it's very easy for it to happen. Very, very easy. I never stole money or stole drugs off people. I knew it'd be like people I would see all the time, and London's small, and well, even in Toronto, I guess. Like I never wanted to be that person, but like, plus you screw over enough people, then people want you cause too much bad. I never wanted. I wanted to keep those connections smooth and running at all times. So I knew that's a line that would never cross, because that's how you really fuck shit up for yourself. That's how you burn those bridges. When you burn those bridges, that means less drugs. And realistically, I wasn't doing it to be a better person. I was just doing it to keep my lines of communication open, so if I needed anything, I could get it. Not that I try never ever get anything for free. I've always earned it one way or a freaking another. But yet again, it doesn't make it any better. If anything, it just does more damage to you mentally, for sure. I never stole from my family, which I'm thankful for, because I never want to hurt them like that. They're still from my friends either. I only stole like from the odd party in my 20s. Like if somebody was like really mean to me or treating me like shit, I was over their house. I'd steal something stupid, like some scratched up sunglasses that had no value and you couldn't even use them anyway. Old VH copy of Grease. At that point, nobody had VHS players pretty much anymore. What the hell did I take that for? No idea. An old shirt with a bunch of rips in it. Before that was stylish. I always steal stupid things and things of absolutely no value. And it was just to teach them a lesson. I don't even think, honestly, they didn't even notice it was gone most of the time. But the guy with the sunglasses noticed it for sure. But that's the one I remember. I never wanted to be that level of douchey, but I just balanced out being douchey in totally other different ways. Like Jersey Shore, like level douchey. Kanye West, level douchey. So thank goodness those days are over. That's all I gotta say. But I would like be a masterpiece. You ever see like in Disney where Fantasia and he's directing all the things? That's all my lies working to, or my twisting of the actual truth, so that I can still get away and think that I'm telling the truth without lying, because on some level, it's the truth. And but a lie is a lie, no matter how you do it, when you're being dishonest and deceiving, it is wrong. And you shouldn't do it, and it's just a lie regardless. So I wish myself that I could have a future where I never ever needed that again. I feel like finally got out of survival mode. I want to live a life of complete honesty, and unfortunately for me, it means coming clean. I was very uncomfortable with the idea of coming clean, but I figure that saying kept grinding through my head, the truth shall set you free. So why the hell not? I've already aired out all my dirty laundry all over the internet and for everyone to see, so why do I have to be shy about now? To say that I'm human and I'm flawed like everybody else? Well, that's nothing that's gonna bother me because it's the truth. And you know what? If this helps connect with people and, maybe, I don't know, affect somebody in a positive way, yeah, it's worth it. I definitely think it's worth it. Being vulnerable on camera doesn't bother me anymore. It was really uncomfortable at first, but I've come a long way, I think. And I believe when you don't have to have any lies in your life, you can live comfortably and free and have that sense of relief that you don't have to do those things to survive anymore. That's what our program tells us, and it's true, and that's what I want. So being open about this is definitely something. Let's jump to the basics. Like, have I talked about people behind their back? Of course. Who hasn't? Have I said one thing and done the other, been a total hypocrite? When I go around saying I hate hypocrites? Yes, totally, definitely. Have I yelled at people that don't deserve it and at checkout lines at stores just because I had to direct my anger somewhere where I was just pissed off and they just happened to be in the way? Oh, definitely, definitely. Have I just taken it out on the person that did absolutely nothing wrong? Absolutely. Because sometimes I'm just a dick and I want to yell, and I don't know why. Have I ever seen somebody in need, struggling, and been too scared to go up and help them? Yes. Guy drop his cane, feeling around someone who can't open the door. I'm thinking in my head, I should help them. Oh, but then my fear of, generally interacting with people comes up when I'm like, dealing with that crap, and I just watch them struggle until someone else does it. I don't know why I did that. I was like, I'd be scared to help somebody, but it's those things I still think about, though. Ever bailed out on plans and people that people I care about because I was either high, wanted to get high, coming down off high? I've done that so many times, and I'm so fucking sorry. I always go into those moments of like, I'm going to be sober for the next day. I'll be able to still do this. Never happened. Never, ever, ever can or will ever happen unless you're going to do that shit high as a kite still. So I'm sorry for everyone I ever did that to. Sometimes there has been legitimate reasons why I couldn't do it. But those are probably a little farther and fewer in between. I don't know. Sometimes I got to the point when I was like having a hard time socially interacting with people. That's when it was generally like legitimate. Like I really had a hard time doing that kind of stuff because the PTSD kind of took away the social aspect of my personality, and I just didn't want to be around people or have conversations or do any of that, kind of stuff. Have I don't know. I can't think of any specific instances, but let's just say there's more. I wish I ask God and everybody to forgive me for my shortcomings and my defects. Personality defects suck. I really want to move forward, not hurting anybody anymore. This is a pledge that I don't want to spend one more minute on this planet hurting the people I love and I care about, or anybody else for that matter. I don't want to spend one more moment on this planet lying, stealing, cheating, whatever. I don't want to live that life anymore. I want a life of honesty, respect, and dignity for myself. And I feel like this is a part of what I have to do to get there. And I'm doing it because I want to do it, and I feel that it's right to do. I am truly sorry. I hope that everyone can forgive me. I beg God to forgive me. I hope that you can understand why I felt that I needed to because I was so scared what would happen if I stopped doing it. It kept me alive for a long time. It kept me in a lifestyle beyond what I really could have for myself for a long time. It kept me around and involved in the lifestyle I wanted to be in a long time, for a long time. It just became something that I got used to doing, and something that I realized I no longer needed to do. I went out for my husband's birthday, went to my old bar. It's a different name now, but it's still the only gay bar in our city. And ran into a lot of my old people I used to run with, go to the bar, drink, blah, 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 in my drinking days, and not so much my drug days, but always definitely my drinking days. And then I had this bougie, douchey guy all over, like just fucking all over me, and it was like so disgustingly unattractive. Not in the mood for it. And have all my old friends coming up to me, sending stories and asking me questions, and I'm just like, all honestly I wanted to do was get the fuck out of there. It's not who I am anymore. I realized I thought I could handle it for one night, and I thought it might be fun. Or what if I fall back into old drinking habits next? But it turns out I had the strength to recognize that, for one, it's not who I am anymore. For two, it's not who I want to be anymore. And for three, I've progressed past this stage in my life now. I'm ready for a transitioning to a new way of living. And that was a great thing to know. I thought I was going to be that person forever. And that scared the hell out of me. I'm glad. I can say that I know for a fact I don't want to be that person anymore. And he was scared if I came out with him, if I had a drink or two, that I would refer back into like doing drugs and stuff like that. But I proved that it's because my will was low, and I did those things because there's a part of me clear that wanted to do them. I knew I didn't want to do that night, and proved to myself it's not those things that make me weak. It's avoiding emotion and avoiding serious life problems and using it to mask my feelings that leads to me doing those things, for sure, because that's how I train myself to deal with those things. But facing them head on eliminates the need to do those things for me. I don't need to get plaster drunk. I don't need to go out and use. I don't need to chain smoke. I don't need any of that stuff anymore. Because I'm just going to face my shit and be honest about who I am. Be honest about who I've been and where I want to go now. And just take it one day at a time after that. And that brings me a lot of peace and contentment. More than you ever know. That's all I really wanted, was like peace and contentment for like as long as I can remember, since I feel like my life has never had that. But I attracted those problems. I attracted those problems by being the person I was, by surrounding myself with sketchy people and bringing that into my house and bringing that in my life. And then they brought their problems to me and in my life. And I just kept stirring the pot, so to say, because, adding more of those people in and more of those people in, and they're using and they're partying, and it kept my cycle going. It was all part of keeping my cycle going. I didn't even know that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. Reality. So I could sit here all day with probably listing, or even longer than that, listing all the things I did I wish I couldn't do. Luckily, the drugs kind of made me forget a good chunk of my party years. But what I do remember, I don't like to remember. Let's just say that. So I hope that everyone can forgive me. yet again, and God can forgive me, and I am sorry for these things. I'm not this person anymore, and I just want to be set free of it. And if there's anything I'm specifically forgetting, if anyone's watching this and is like, oh, well, there was that one time, I'm sorry, I clearly don't remember it. But you're right. So I just wanted that freeing of admitting that, we're none of us are perfect people. We all make mistakes, but it takes a lot of people can't admit their mistake. I couldn't admit mine for years. So for me now, this is definitely something that need to be said. I don't need to say all the times and instances, but I can say that I made a lot of mistakes with people. I hurt people deeply. People I called friends, and people I considered family, and I luckily have repaired most of those relationships, but not every single one. And I just hope to do that one day, and they can see me for who I am and not who I've been, not who I was. And it's important that people see me who I am now, and know that the addiction is not me. It's a part of me, but me sober and me using are two completely different people. And my behavior is not me when I use. And yeah, that's what I really don't like. So I do feel better venting that little bit. So thank you so much for watching and supporting, and remember, we do recover. Thanks.